Hello everyone, how are you guys doing? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and today we are here on the best splashing method in old school Runescape. So basically, with the splashing method on Kraken, you can get 100k XP per hour, which is absolutely insane. It's probably one of my favorite magic training methods considering you can AFK for so long, and it isn't actually that expensive. So let's begin with the requirements. You will need 75 mage for this spell that we'll be casting today. It will be Fire Wave, but you can actually have lower if you want to cast lower spells, but I personally wouldn't recommend it. Most people that have 87 Slayer already probably have that mage level, so it shouldn't be something to worry about, but 87 Slayer is going to be the big one for this. Basically, you need to be on a Kraken task to be able to do this splashing method. However, once you get a Kraken task, you can do as much of it as you want considering you won't actually be killing Kraken. Now, if we move on into the gear setup that we're going to want for today, you guys can see what mine looks like on the left. Basically, the better gear you can get, the better XP you're going to get. This makes sense, but it's not that impactful to be honest, so don't worry about getting the best gear you can if it really means liquidating all of your bank, considering that Kraken has such low mage defense that you're going to hit really well anyways, no matter the gear. I even tried it yesterday with Augury, and it only upped it a couple thousand XP per hour, which is definitely not worth it, and so basically what I'd recommend to you guys is take whatever you feel comfortable bringing with the current setup that you have. Now with that said, there are some must-haves that you're going to need for this, one thing being a smoke battle staff. You don't necessarily need this one, however it does eliminate the need for air runes and fire runes and has a really good magic bonus. On top of that, you will need a Tome of Fire. This is because it allows you to damage boost your fire spells. You also get unlimited fire runes with that. On top of that, you're going to want to use an occult necklace, basically because it's only 800k or so, and it is the best in slot for magic by far. And along with that, you're going to need a Slayer helm, as you will be on task, thus you'll be getting a damage boost while you are there. Now let's go compare the pros and cons of this method. So the first one with pros is that you actually have 20 minutes of AFK. Depending on the inventory setup that you're going for, you actually can AFK for 20 minutes if you decide to attack the boss and one of its tentacles to the side. However, if you don't want to eat food while you're there and don't want to attack the tentacle, at most you can AFK for 5 minutes before you stop attacking. Now another thing great about this method is that it's actually, in my opinion, worth the loss. Now this comes down to the individual player, but to actually be able to play the game for 20 minutes and not pay any attention and gain 33k magic XP in that time, I think the 5.5 GP per XP is definitely worth it. Now that's up for interpretation, but to me, I think it's definitely a huge pro. However, it's not efficient to splash really in any way. I mean, unless you plan on leaving and just want to splash for 5 minutes so you can get that extra XP, it's not really efficient, but it's some easy XP. So, I mean, you know, you take the good with the bad. Now, on top of that, when you go to Kraken, there is an instance that you can enter, and if you die in the instance, if you're getting attacked by the Kraken tentacle and you don't pay attention at all, you can die and you can lose your stuff. So if you are someone that likes to heavily AFK, make sure that you watch out for that. And this is the inventory setup that I will be using today. You're going to want your blood runes, some method to get to a fairy ring or get to Piscarius in general, and food. Now this is if you're going to be attacking the smaller Kraken tentacle. If you're not going to be doing that, then you could also empty out your inventory and bring an inventory full of magic potions or an imbued heart, depending on what you have. Basically, if you can afford an imbued heart, I'd recommend you bring it in any inventory setup. However, if you're just splashing on the boss, you won't necessarily need to have anything in your inventory, so I think magic potions would be the next best option. So what you're going to want to do is find a way to get there. Personally, I'll be using a Slayer ring and running outside to the fairy teleport. Now, once you are here, you're going to want to go to the Piscarius Hunter area. Sorry, I think I pronounced that wrong earlier, but go ahead and go there, and then you'll run to the west a little bit, and from there you should be able to find your way to the Kraken Cave. From there, run north and you will find yourself a crevice. Now, this is one thing that I will say, if you do go into a private instance, basically you can lose your items. I mentioned it earlier, it's a possibility. Personally, I got lucky and I can actually just stay in this world and do it, but more than likely you're going to have to go and use an instance, and you actually don't need to bring the coins with you. You can just use them from your bank. Now, this is where the two methods change. It's really the same thing in an essence, but it's just how much you want to AFK. So as you guys can see here, whenever I attack the Kraken, I actually get XP drops as if I were to be attacking it. However, it's never going to die since it's underground. Now, this is only going to allow you to attack for 5 minutes, considering that you're not getting attacked by anything else. Now, if you want to trigger that, all you have to do is attack one of these whirlpools, and from there, you'll start to get attacked by a tentacle. As you can see, you're not getting dealt that much damage from the tentacle, but if you do decide to do this method, I would recommend probably probably changing up your ARMs for maybe something like Armadillo, your damage per hour should drop by about 1 to 2%, which isn't that big of a deal when you consider how long your inventories could last. But even now, as you guys can see, I've been recording here for a couple minutes and I'm only taking about 10 damage in that time, and each one of these is able to heal you 22 health. So to say that this inventory will last me for an hour to 2 hours is pretty fair to say, and that's why I think this method is really nice. It's really chill and you can just kind of hang out. Now to look at our hourly results, basically what you can expect is 100k magic XP per hour as I stated earlier, but you will be losing 1300 nature runes an hour just in cast and 65 burnt pages from your Tome of Fire. But this does end up coming to a total loss of 550k per hour. It is a little hefty, but to consider that you don't have to pay attention to an account and you can pretty much do anything you want in game, I definitely think it's worth it. So that's up for you guys to decide. So that's it for me today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like. If there's anything you want to tell me, comment that down below. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, and you guys can also check out my Twitch and Twitter in the description as well. Along with that, join the clan chat, large EXP lamp. But with that said, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and peace.